When I was 5 years old, my mama met a man that changed everything for my family. Excuse me. I never knew that that could be even a possibility because I always loved my father. I always wanted to be like my father. Anyhow, things were kind of bad for us. I already shared for you guys how my mom was a fighter. She was a thumper. That's where I got my thumping from and my fighting from. And, Jun-Jun just came in. I don't know how they met, but I thank the Lord that they met because when he came in, Mama didn't go to jail no more. When he came in, me, Ma, and Tony was sleeping on a mattress on the floor with a sheet up to the window. We didn't have plenty, a lot of clothes. We didn't have a lot of food. Mama was doing the best that she could do always, and I've been sharing that with you guys since I've been giving you, chapter and pages from my audio book. Jun-Jun came in, and the day that Tony passed away, he was with Jun-Jun earlier. Jun-Jun paid for my brother's funeral. He paid for everything. This is a working man doing this, and what touched me to know, I didn't understand it as a kid, but the day of my brother's funeral, him paying for everything, he didn't even ride in a limo with us. He was courteous enough to let my father and my aunts and uncles them ride in the limo with us. And he rode behind the procession in his car. And he was the guy that gave me all the love that I needed to grow up into a strong young man. It's crazy that I got on this red and white now. It's being so close to Christmas, but, Christmas was always an antagonizing thing for me because, you didn't have nothing. One year before he came in, my mama was waiting on a welfare check right at Christmas, and somebody stole the check, and she had to go to the fire department and get us these little wooden toys or whatever, and she cried about that. But Jun-Jun came in and gave us instant upgrades. We got a TV. We got a dresser drawer. We got a new bed. We got everything. We got all these, new clothes to go to school. We will get our hair cut every week. Things of that nature. He was there for me. And, a few years after my brother passed, my little brother Gary was born. And after Gary was born, Kimberly was born. And after Kimberly was born, 2 years later, my little sister Sophie was born. And all of them share the same, father with Jun-Jun. Rickson George Jr., he was everything for me. So the going into the transfer, when I did get to where I was, my final landing spot, they called me out the cell. It was about 11, 12 that night or whatever. And I know when they call you out, it's something bad. So they say they want you at the captain's office. So I had to go down to the captain's office. That was one of the longest walks I ever had to take in my life. When I got there, the guy had a soda sitting on the table, and he pushed it to me, and he was like, I was like, man, what's going on? What's wrong with my family, man? And he was like, your pops passed. And I was like, my pops passed? I was like, oh, man. No, man, my mind was all over the place, so he was telling me to call home, so I called, and my sister Kim answered the phone, and she told me it was Jun-Jun. And as much as I love my father, there's nobody on earth that loves my father more than me. Nobody. At that moment, I wish it wouldn't have been Jun-Jun, because that's the bond that we share. Everything I needed, he was always there. When I went through trials and tribulations as a young man, his door was always open for me. When I grew up and became entrenched in the thug life, he was always there for me. He ain't never talked down on me. He ain't never, butchered me about things that normal adults would butcher kids for. And I'm going to drop this jewel on you guys right now because it's important to let you know how I respect this man. My mom whooped me one time with an extension cord. I was in the 4th grade, and she laid it on me. I'm talking about she whipped me bad. I had whips all around my shoulder, on my side. It was like she beat me bad. Today, my mom would be in jail for that. Anyhow, he came over and I was still sitting there crying. I was wailing. And he came in and said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, Mom whooped me. And he told me to come here. And he lifted my shirt up and seen the whelps that Mom put on me. And she was on the bed folding up clothes. He took all those clothes and threw them over on her. He hit her with the clothes that she laid down. And he took the basket and dumped all the clothes on top of her. And he told her, "If you ever hit that boy like that again, I won't come back." And he left. And she was crying, telling me how much she, was sorry or whatever. Even though, I gave her 100 more reasons later on to keep getting them same type of whippings. But anyhow, he did that day. And he stood up for me against Mom. And I've been sharing with you guys how much, I respect my mama and how much I respect him. He was there for me. So when I go to visit my brother's grave, they buried on separate sides of the cemetery. If you go on my Facebook page and go back and slide down through the reels and stuff, you will see me paying my respects to him. But Ricks and George Jr. will always be the creme de la creme for me. Nothing can change that.